we all came here. A lot of the women that they were outside of Afghanistan for many, many years, they all decided to come back. We all decided to come back, and one of the reasons why I came back here was because I wanted to be the voice of the voiceless women of this country. I had seen a few things on television, although I was not here at the time. One of them was that woman that was shot in the middle of a stadium, Kabul stadium, which for me it was a place with some of the most memorable memories of mine. There used to be a lot of games in there. There used to be these parades in front of the king in there, and all of us girls and boys, we were young and we used to go in front on those parades in front of the king. I used to take, watch football games. We used to watch Buskashi games in there. It was really, really a very, how shall I say, an extremely memorable place for all of the people of the city of Kabul. But then at the same time over there, I saw the execution of an Afghan woman with the chadari on her head, and I could not see her face. I don't know what her face looked like, and until today I don't even know what was her sin. Why did they kill her like that? I don't know. But then apparently the Taliban at the time, they saw fit, or they thought that it's the right thing to do. For whatever the reason, they shot that woman. I don't know why, but for something that I can't really explain, honest to God, I think that I saw the eyes of that woman. Maybe in my heart I saw it, and I saw the way she was looking and how desperate she was, because there was nobody there to defend her or anything. And that absolutely broke me in pieces. For days, I could not actually go to work. I was so upset. But then it was after that, and another scene that happened, which culturally really upset me very much, when I saw the Buddha statue in Bamyan being blown into pieces. It's like, whether it was a Buddha statue, but it was, it's a part of Afghanistan's history, of who we were and what we were and how old we are. So I saw that blown into pieces. But this woman actually is what really made me decide that I want to come back to Afghanistan and work. And it was then when I decided to be the voice of the voiceless women of Afghanistan. What is it that they have done as far as their, what is it, this huge sin that they have committed, or this whatever it is that they have committed, that they are going to be killed? Why? Because they worked in an office? Is that the reason? Because they they worked in a television or a TV in television, or in a newspaper or a magazine where they were doing reports, or they were teaching at a university, or they were artists and they were painting and they were creating and they were expressing their talent? What is it? I can't understand that. What kind of a horrible something, that crime they have committed, that it will call for them to be so afraid? Well, they are saying that, but I want to tell you the reason why it is not believed by a lot of women. The reason why it is not believed by a lot of women is because the same words that you're using right now about why the girls are not going to school, why they are, what is happening, how come they are not joining the university, they are not going to school, how come the women are not outside, and why do they have to have mahrams when they walk on the street, so they have to go shopping? There was an answer given by Stanakzai, which is one of their people. Stanakzai gave that answer 22 years ago, in an interview to one of the newspapers, one of the television. He gave that interview. I honestly, I heard that interview. I was not paying attention. I was talking to somebody, and the interview was on television. And I looked around, and it was Amanpour, Miss Amanpour, that was taking the interview. And I'm looking at Amanpour, and I'm saying, wow, she looks so young. Amanpour is very young. And I'm looking at Stonakzai and saying, oh my God, this man looks so young. And then I suddenly realized that was an interview from 20 years ago. But the phrase, even the phraseology was the same. The same phrases were used about, they never said that they're not going to let the girls go to school. Never. But they never let girls to go to school. So you see, as far as the trust part is concerned, we don't trust anymore. We think that they did the same way that they lied then, they're going to do the same thing now. That is why. Okay. Because there is no trust left. Yeah. And they have to prove it now to us that they mean it and it's the truth. So let them go to school. And at the same time, they turn around and they say, well, we really want to have doctors that they are women. Okay, fine. You want to have doctors that they are women, but you have to start with the girls at this age in order for them to get educated so they can give you doctors later on. If you want teachers and doctors and whoever that are women, you have to allow them from a young age to go to school and learn. If you don't allow them at a young age, when are they going to learn to be a doctor? And then when they're that little, they don't need to wear, a hijab, which usually the little girls are. They're wearing their black outfits, for school, and they have a white, beautiful scarf that they cover their heads. So what else do they need? They're little girls. And then for the universities, all of us, we are wearing hijab. We don't have to cover our faces, because in Islam, as we all know, it's the interpretation of the Sharia which makes all of the difference and brings about, difficulties. So this is all that is happening, and it shouldn't. So, in other words, it should be in a way that we can live together, all of us, as Afghans. Men, women, young, old, kids, all of us. This is our country. We should take part of it. We should take charge of it. And we should make whatever life we want happen here in Afghanistan. Well, I really hope they would. I really hope so. Not for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that if they don't change, according to because they promised this in the beginning, before they even came back to Afghanistan, whatever you want to call it, when they were talking, when they were in Doha, when all of the agreements were taking place and happening, this was one of the promises that they gave to the world. They said to the world that we will allow the women of Afghanistan to work. We will allow the girls of Afghanistan to study. We will allow the children of Afghanistan to go to school. These were the promises that they made. So the world is counting on that. And a lot of the world are putting, a clause on the help that they are doing or sending to Afghanistan. So like, for example, saying, if you don't do that, then we are not going to give you money for the things that you need. The situation of the woman in Afghanistan is not good at all. Not at all. The fact that you see that, all of these things, the girl not going to school, the Ministry of Women's Affairs being closed, women are not being a part of the government, the young girls cannot go to colleges, people cannot go to work, all of that. All of these things are so directed against the woman that, it's not magic that this is what's happening. In reality, this is what's happening. So, people, the women of Afghanistan they really are feeling threatened. And because of the way they have been treated, they have all the right to feel threatened. So if the Taliban, they really want to make a difference, they have to remove this threat from the women of Afghanistan. And the way that they can make the threat move is by changing their ways of approach and treating the women of Afghanistan.